Every family has that one recipe, right? The one that's more than just food. Well, today we're diving into one of those treasures. We're going to uncover the art of making Hecsedli, which is a kind of rosehip jam. And this isn't just about reading a list of instructions. It's about unlocking a secret that's been passed down for generations. The source material just lays it right out there for us. Our whole goal here is to find out the secret of Hecsedli cooking. We want to know not just what makes this jam taste so good, but what makes it so special. And today, that secret is finally coming out. So where does a secret like this even begin? You might think it's some magic trick in the pots, but nope. The magic actually starts way earlier with the preparation. And as you're about to see, it's not one single thing, but a whole series of careful, precise steps that all build on each other. And just look at the level of detail here. You don't just, rinse the fruit. First, you snip off the stem end. Then, you snip off the flower end. Step 3 is all about inspection. Seriously, the source says if any look suspicious, you cut them in half to check. It's only after all that, at step 4, that you finally wash them. This isn't just cleaning. This is about creating the absolute perfect starting point for the jam. Okay, so once the rose hips are absolutely perfect, it's time for the first boil. The goal here is pretty simple. You cook them in a whole bunch of water until they get so soft they literally just fall apart. This whole step is just about breaking down the fruit so we can get to the next stage, which, believe me, is the most important one. And here we are. This is the heart of the secret. The one part of the process that really, truly sets this recipe apart from all the others. It's not just about straining the jam once. Oh no. It's a special two-pass method that squeezes out every last drop of flavor. So, on the first go-around, you separate the pulp from all that cooking liquid. Now, your first instinct might be to just toss that liquid, right? But whatever you do, don't. According to Mama, this incredibly flavorful tea is actually the most delicious part. And more importantly, it's the key ingredient for what's coming next. And this right here is the game changer, the second pass. You take that amazing liquid, that tea you just saved, and you pour it back over the pulp to thin it out. Then you run the whole thing through the strainer a second time. I love how the source describes this. It's like you're washing the meat out of it. It's just a genius way to make sure absolutely nothing goes to waste. And here's where you can really see the brilliance of this technique. Let's compare it to another common method, where they mash the fruit before they boil it. See, when they do that, they lose the chance to save that amazing liquid. But with Mama's method, boiling them whole, saving that tea, and using it for a second round, well, that's what gives her Hecsedli that incredible flavor and texture. It's night and day. Okay, let's move on to the final stage and see how this amazing pulp becomes jam. We've got our perfectly extracted fruits, and now it's time to turn it into something that will last, getting that balance between sweetness and preservation just right. And once again, it's all about precision. No guesswork here. The recipe calls for a super specific ratio. For every 3 liters of that strained pulp, you're going to add exactly 1.5 kilograms of sugar. This isn't just a random amount. It's a number that's been perfected over years and years. And that ratio all comes from this brilliant little rule of thumb. Mama's core belief is that 600 grams of sugar for every liter of fruit is the magic number. It's just enough to make sure the jam is preserved perfectly, but not so much that it completely overpowers the fruit's natural flavor. This way, you still taste the rosehip, not just a mouthful of sugar. The last few steps here are a mix of hard work and old-school tradition. You've got to cook the pulp and sugar together, and you have to stir it constantly so it doesn't burn. Then, right before you're ready to jar it, you add a tiny pinch of salicylic acid. That's a traditional preservative. Then, the hot jam goes into jars, and they all get wrapped up in a warm bundle called a dunst. This lets everything cool down super slowly, which guarantees a perfect seal. But, as we've walked through all these steps, it becomes pretty clear that this whole process is about way more than just ingredients and temperatures. The technical stuff is only half the picture. The real secret ingredient? Well, it's something else entirely. It all starts right here. The love, the dedication, it begins out in the garden. Picking rosehips is not easy work. Those thorns will get you, for sure. So you have to genuinely love the entire process, from getting scratched up during the harvest all the way to that meticulous cleaning, just to even want to get started. And in the end, that's what this jam is all about. It's not just something you spread on toast. It's a taste of home. It's a real, tangible piece of family history. It is, quite simply, one of those homemade sweets from childhood, and it's packed with memories in every single spoonful. So, as we've pulled back the curtain on the secrets of Mama's Hecsedli, it really just leaves me with one last thought. I bet every family has traditions and recipes just like this one, where the method is the meaning, and where the real ingredients are love and memory. So, what's yours?